Welcome to the Rocky Horror Picture Show. No, really, welcome to the Patrick Reagan Show, one of the few shows on which you will hear the Time Warp being played as bumper music. I guess if you're watching on the webcam, we could actually be doing the Time Warp here in the studio. What do you think, Tori? No.
Yes.
Yeah. Speaking of Time Warp, you're listening to the number one radio station in East Tennessee, WNOX, FM 100.3. Broadcasting its signal at the speed of light, or as close as you can get. Since we are not living in a perfect vacuum, you can probably expect slightly less than the speed of light. But don't worry, the information and analysis you are receiving is still timely, and in regards to freedom and liberty, timeless. But you aren't required to procure an over-the-air waves radio frequency receiver to convert the electromagnetic signal into audible sound pressure waves for your enjoyment. You can also dial us up over the internet at www.wnoxfm.com. There you can watch as well as listen to the radio show in real time via the in-studio webcam. And you can watch Tori doing the Time Warp. That address again, if you need it, is wnoxfm.com. And as I mentioned before, working diligently right here beside me and dancing the Time Warp behind his console is Tori. And he's the one thing standing in between me and a train wreck of a show.
Just standing in between, I'm helping. I'm helping to drive the train.
But the Time Warp is good. I don't think you're going to catch that on... Well, I've never heard that on any show. Thank you again to everyone for tuning in again this week to the one radio show steadfastly standing for freedom and liberty. Not a liberal-minded definition, nor a conservative-minded one either. Here we offer an American-minded definition that embodies freedom and liberty from overbearing and intrusive government. You may ask yourself, Patrick, why so much government?
Why so much government, Patrick?
Yeah, really. Unless your name is Patrick, you might want to see a professional if you frequently refer to yourself by other people's names. For those who may ask themselves, hey, insert your first name here.
Hey, insert your first name here.
Yeah, why so much government? Yeah, it's because we have allowed it to grow. Government used to not play such a huge role in everyone's life. It was business and companies. It was people making money. Sure, there were companies that took advantage of employees, but at least you could choose to not work for them if you didn't want to. If you don't like the way a particular government is treating its people or what it stood for, you can protest by not purchasing their products. You hit the company right where it hurts them, the bottom line. Try that with a government agency sometime. If you don't like how they treat you, well, too bad. And if you think you can just ignore them if you don't agree with their policies, then you will probably end up paying a fine or, heck, even being criminally charged. Who in their right mind agrees that TSA people wandering their hands all over your body at the airport is acceptable? Who thinks the EPA doesn't overstep their bounds when they declare your property a wetland and restrict what you can build? Oh, it's still your property. You just can't use it however you want. Start screwing around with them, and your property is going to end up belonging to the government. Same thing with taxes. Don't pay them or have a dispute, someone with a gun will be seizing your house and anything else they want. Or even worse, you can be put on a watch list and not allowed to fly. Now, this isn't some private business saying you can't fly on their airplane. This is the government saying you cannot utilize the transportation services of an entire private business sector in America. And if that doesn't bother you enough, how about the president deciding to declare you a domestic terrorist because of what you might have posted on the internet? Now you can be kidnapped and taken to a secret interrogation facility somewhere in the world and never be heard from again. These things and many more are going on right now, and we as Americans are letting it happen. Why? Because the people to whom they are doing these things are not us. If it were you, it would probably make a whole lot more difference in your daily life. Unless we stand up for those who cannot speak up for themselves, then we are going to be doomed to suffer the same fate in the future. It won't be for the same reasons, but for something new, whatever is going on in that point of time. Who is going to be speaking for you then? If you are sitting around allowing these things to happen and not trying to change anything, then don't scream and yell about others turning a blind eye when the government is causing you problems. Government will take as much as you will allow it to have, and even then it will want more. It is never satisfied, so we must be eternally vigilant in the watching of our representatives. I know this is Patrick's sermon number 32, but you have to let these guys know they are your employees. All of these people work for you. You pay their salary. You wouldn't tolerate bad service or disrespect in a restaurant. You wouldn't allow the dry cleaner to get away with ruining your favorite piece of clothing. You would fire somebody working in your house that is secretly stealing from you. Why would you allow your representative in Congress to get off any easier? By keeping them on their toes, you are keeping them honest. Stay informed and updated on their positions, the bills they are helping sponsor or not sponsor, and the votes they cast, their testimony on the committees on which they serve. All these things are important and necessary if you're going to keep government in check. This week, we have more excitement and fun, but unfortunately, never enough time. Although we're going to cram as much in as we can over this next hour. So stay with me. This is Patrick Riggins, along with Tori, the sole producer, doing the time warp. Yeah, we will be back in a few minutes.